criminally. There were so many leaks, half-truths, half-reports, half-statements, and when I tell you the social media response that came from that was vile, the things that were said about what they would do to Papa, the wrong person saw and read that, because I can tell you for a fact that the person or people who did what I saw on June the 7th, they hated Paul Murdaugh, and they had anger in their heart. And that is the only reason that somebody could be mad at Paul like that and hate him like that.
Okay, so will the jury buy Murdaugh's theory? Let's bring in attorney Eric Bland, criminal defense attorney Mark Geragos, and criminal trial attorney Sarah Azari. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Eric, let me start with you. What did you make of this moment in court? It was the first time during the trial we've heard him say this sort of alternative theory about what happened, that someone was upset about the boat accident and that person is responsible for the murder. Do you think the jury could buy it?
You know, I don't think so. I think we had 2 days worth of lies and blames. He called Mark Tinsley a liar. He called Michelle Smith a liar. He called Jeannie Seckinger a liar. Blanca a liar. He called the media a liar. He called Sled a liar. He then said he lied to his family, his partners, his friends, but came clean and said, well, look, I lied for 2 years to my son and everybody about not being at the kennels. Why would they have not killed Alex? It doesn't make any sense. Alex was there at the house. They knew it. This is some fictitious 5'2" vigilante that he has come up with as somebody who could have killed his wife and kid. I don't think it makes sense. And there was a mic drop moment at the last question. I do agree that Creighton Wooders kind of stepped in mud for a little bit on the financial stuff and the drug stuff. But the last question, Alex had said for 2 days, I changed my story and told a lie about not being at the kennels because I didn't trust Sled when they were interrogating me. The last question showed the Colleton County first responder, the first person on the scene, Officer Duncan, he told within 15 seconds, I didn't see my wife for 45 minutes and my son before 9 o'clock I was at the house. So he was telling a lie from the get-go, Brian, and I think you could hear a pin in the courtroom drop, and if you listen to the redirect, there was no punch left in Jim Griffin, and there was just an overhanging air in the courtroom.
It really does feel like it is all going to come down to that lie and how the jury interprets it. But back to this theory from Murdaugh that it was someone else who committed the murder that was upset about the boat crash. Mark, I'm interested in what you think about it, because the defense doesn't have to give an alternative. I mean, they don't always give an alternative. Do you think that this was planned, that they wanted Alec to say this at some point, or do you think this sort of just came out of the blue?
I don't know if it was planned. I don't know if it came out of the blue. The one thing that I will tell you, my experience has always been that no matter what happens in a trial, once your client takes the stand, the accused, that's all the jury's going to talk about. And I'll tell you, they spent all of one day and most of the second day talking about financial stuff. And I know that the characterization here is that there was a mic drop moment. I would beg to differ. I don't think for a minute that this cross-examination was effective. In fact, if you take a look at the cheerleaders for the prosecution on Twitter, they were beside themselves, and not just lay people, most of the former prosecutors. And I would have to tell you that if, as reported, that jurors yesterday and today were visibly emotional to the point where a juror is pushing a Kleenex towards the accused, Mr. Murdaugh. I'm the prosecutor. That's not going to give me a whole lot of comfort.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.